see here that murderer's row. Brown, 21.3 million. Porbandarwala, 19 million. El Hakim, 17.6. And of course, they're still Lipton. He was so unlucky last night. Should have really finished if there was any justice with 29 million, but he lost that huge one to Coleman. Coleman spiking the ace in the ace-jack Queen's confrontation to stay alive, and actually has a pretty good chance now.
It's nice to get very unlucky and still have 64 big blinds with 16 players left in this huge tournament.
Another huge feature of yesterday, of course, was the rise of Jeremy Becker, who was playing the short stack. It was never super short. I'm thinking like 20 to 30 bigs for most of the day, and then just sort of built and built as the day went on, and finished as our day 4 chip leader.
It's interesting because the Wynn is where he's done all his damage in those little dailies. It's where he made his name, basically. We're like, who is this guy? Why am I seeing him on my timeline every day winning some small tournament?
Yeah, I think he's promised to be in the 200 nightly on Monday.
Yeah, probably.
No matter what happens here.
So we have Becker raising the 10-9 of spades. And El Hakim calling from the button with King 10. King 9-5, 2 clubs.
Potential trouble here for Becker.
The flop graphic is a little off, it looks like.
Yeah, we definitely have a king on
There
board. There it is. And yeah, interesting spot for Becker here with second pair. Probably comes with small bet.
625.
Hakim, another one of these players who's been fun to watch over the last couple of days.
7 of diamonds, 2 flush draws out there now.
Is that a quick check, and we see the 4 of clubs river?
Super fast check back.
Hakim feeling very comfortable about his king 10 now. With the flush completing, a lot more. Becker's behind now. Kept it fairly cheap here, El Hakim.
It's one of those bets that you're just like getting such a good price, but you feel like an idiot when you call.
Yeah, it's hard to know what you beat here that goes for this thin value, and then does El Hakim ever choose this size as a bluff? Probably not. If he has a hand like Queen Jack, Queen 10, would he perhaps go bigger?
I would
Try
think
and
so.
muscle you off a hand like pocket 8s. So yeah, this feels very milky, and Becker can't make too much of a mistake in this situation. It's very cheap if he does flick in the call.
Nice tiny value bet from El Hakim. Do we know, is he a WPT global qualifier? He's wearing the merch.
Oh.
Why would you know? You're only sponsored by them.
I was not given that list ahead of the broadcast.
I'm gonna be, yeah, just a little bit.
That's just the first of many times.
Club WPT Gold, where trusted online poker keeps getting bigger and bigger. Join the exciting poker action and play ring games and daily tournaments with your favorite Club WPT Gold ambassadors. And improve your game with Club WPT Gold's hand analysis tool. Sign up today at clubwptgold.com and start your online poker journey today.
Bigger stacks behind them does offer him a little protection. So
I'd still trade for the other table.
I would too.
You're just doing a silver lining kind of thing.
Yeah. Coleman also happy to exhaust the 15 seconds pre-flop each time.
Being a middling stack is not that fun at a table like this. You can't really, the fewer hands you see, almost the better. Can't get away with a lot, and you have the most to lose,
right?
really.
4-3-50.
Becker with a fun one.
Oh, more. Like 4-8-ish.
I started the day with 5 exactly, and this is my first hand.
625.
Size is up just a little bit.
Oh,
Oh,
lurking.
baby. Heavy breathing.
1.8.
Basically joint chip leaders of this tournament. On something of a collision course, Becker with the kind of hand that may like to take a flop. Interesting to see how he wishes to proceed against what is quite a small out of position 3-bet. I would totally understand demurring a spot like this. I think it's wrought with danger, but Becker will back himself post-flop.
I'll state the obvious that it would be a lot nicer to have like an ace deuce of diamonds type of hand or something where you're like, you feel comfy getting in a zillion big blinds when you get there, but there is a feeling of like, do I want to play a bloated pot versus another chip leader?
Buckle up, guys. This is 4 million in the middle, the two biggest stacks, and oh my goodness me!
Oh man. 6-5-5, Becker with trips, ace is in trouble.
Stack to pot ratio's only 5 here. This could get in a lot of worlds by river. Wow. Brown just feeling like there's not a lot of hands to target for a bet. Wants to give Becker a free one to maybe make a pair in a lot of worlds, unaware. 5-4 suited is lurking. Give me a size here, Jamie. What do you like to kick things off with as Becker?
1.2. Very small. It went even tinier.
Trying to keep in the ace kings, ace queens, ace jacks with this size. Not too many folds, to be honest, facing a bet like this in the 3-bet range that is willing to check and not c-bet here.
Eight of clubs on the turn. Board straightening out a little bit.
Would be strange to seize back the betting lead here. I assume we come with check as Brown. Becker maybe feeling like sizing up now is the order of the day.
Just don't play against Jeremy Becker at the Wynn. That's what I'm learning. Checks back.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, and what we assumed was going to be a monster pot. Again, Becker wanting to get to river. Finding checks others wouldn't. Emboldening Brown to maybe take a stab here if he's missed.
If he does stab, I think it would be very tiny, right?
2.4.
Oh, no, he goes for not block sizing.
So very much targeting maybe like a 7-8. Maybe a pocket 9s. Pocket 4, well, sorry, not pocket 4s anymore, of course. Pocket 7s. Becker obviously going to commit chips here, but I assume he takes it north. Would seem very nitty to just call in this spot. Feel like we're going to see something in the region of 7.5. Again, that turn check back designed to induce a bet that he could raise over.
Pretty sizable bet. Oh, and snap call. Wow, Becker got a lot more in this hand than I thought he would from checking back turn.
Huge, huge pot here early on day 5.
How much?
Jeremy Becker began the day as chip leader. He is a monster chip leader now.
I felt like the 2.4 million was designed to fold if you were to get raised.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's not the only one to just block and then call anyway. But I feel like if he had gone a million, the raise would be smaller and maybe, I don't know, less punishing. But what do you think?
I do understand your logic there, but I also think the huge problem that he made for himself was how under-repped he was.
Sure. Yeah, what the heck? Where does it reroute it to?
Yeah, this
Hold on a
is something
second.
we've been talking about all weekend. Well,
There's like a little sweat collection
pocket.
thing in the, yeah.
I don't know. We need more details from the FlexFit people.
All right. I'll find out before the next ad read, you guys. Becker raising up ace-jack, getting called by the 10s of brown.
Little sexy gapper for Porbandarwala, hits the muck. El Hakim
Another nice hand. King, queen suited.
can go both ways with a hand like this. Squeeze certainly reasonable. At least call feels mandatory. Quite like the overcall
Me
here. It's a
too.
hand that flops
too.
very pure, and the suited variety maybe
a lot
goes
of
into the
potential.
call, and the offsuit maybe goes into the squeeze.
I would be very sad if I 3-bet this suited variety and had to fold it.
Yeah.
Lipton with pocket eights coming along.
Here we go, big pot.
The bomb pot.
Now this is an interesting one. Coleman could squeeze, but certainly should never call with a hand like ace deuce here. Multi-way pot, hands of that nature really just fall off a cliff.
Bar shack, not a very nice looking big blind hand. He's gonna let it go.
Now I've been doing a lot of study with my colleague Dara O'Carney for the last few weeks. He has just brought out a course on multi-way hands, and it, you know, something I find when I come to America in particular, but also just in the live arena, a lot of multi-way spots.
5-5-3 rainbow. 10s are good, and 8s have to feel pretty comfy here too.
One of the heuristics of multi-way is you can downsize quite a bit. Becker going to come with c-bet here, allowed to bet very small. And that's what he's done. Brown obviously has enough to continue.
I would have expected smaller than that.
I would too. It's gone with something a little north of quarter pot. 20% will often do the job in this situation.
2 million.
Oh, and gonna define his hand right away is Will Brown. The interesting wrinkle of that is Lipton will now take no further interest in this pot. Whereas had Brown called, in an interesting spot for the pocket eights.
I'd be feeling pretty good with 8s then. I know, I love that hand too. He's like, I don't want to put it in the muck without a funeral first.
I'm short, so it's
Good folds. Should end the hand.
Yeah, but I'm curious about the utility of this raise. Is he going to call off to a jam from Becker in that world, or is he sort of going for an old school informational bet?
15 seconds is so fast. Actually, like a 3-bet.
Kind of academic here. Becker,
At least that
the
means
ace jack.
We showed up, got
Although
paid.
He's giving it some thought. Giving a lot of thought. Just wondering what sort of hands will do that, and almost honing in on the fact that it does feel like an informational bet, and sometimes when
It's gonna make
someone
it tough.
does that, you want to give them the wrong answer. This is already intriguing.
Oh man,
Oh.
brutal for Lipton.
15, 14, and 13. They played the same.
Oh my
What
gosh,
might
yeah.
have
14,
been.
13 are the same page.
Yeah.
And 12, 11, 10, 9. Okay.
Now,
Oh,
Brown
they're down to 14. They lost 2 players.
probably
Holy shit.
feeling
Oh,
a
they
little
lost two?
uncomfortable with his
Well,
tens.
Constantine just busted.
Oh.
Stack to pot ratio only slightly north of 1-to-1. Does check, and does Becker ever think his hand is good, or is he now going to try to bluff out a hand like sixes,
So, yeah.
sevens?
Probably
players
had
left, yeah.
some ideas of
One
river
versus
cards
one.
that he could just
yeah.
bluff, but I feel like this one
Also,
isn't one that I would take.
And Jeremy's gonna get moved
Wouldn't be
off
feeling
the
very
table.
good. I feel like it's hard to shake an overpair to the board on this, but obviously the way Becker played his hand, he can have all overpairs to the tens.
Changes things a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's nice to not have the chip leader at the table, right?
Oh wow, he's gonna put them all in.
Wow. This is super, super uncomfortable for Brown. Becker just straight repping. Jacks through aces here.
We did see the fields go down to 14. They did make that pay jump, so that is not something Brown is considering, but just pretty sick spot. He did get to play with Becker a fair amount in this tournament so far, so he knows he's capable.
Just feels like, what calls my raise on the flop, and is now happy to stick it in now. Obviously, the unlikely ace-5, and then all those big pairs.
I put him on ace
How many
jack.
am I on? Huh?
That's the
How
thing.
many- how
Becker
many?
ends up in these spots with hands you absolutely don't expect. You can see why it's so discombobulating for his opponents. This is so, so hard for Brown.
We saw him make the right decision yesterday with just pocket
Wow.
eights. He did it.
Yeah,
Huge
Did it
hero
again.
call
Very nice.
to get all those chips back from Becker.
Skyrockets to the top of the leaderboard too.
Club WPT Gold, where trusted online poker keeps getting bigger and bigger. Join the exciting poker action and play ring games and daily tournaments with your favorite Club WPT Gold ambassadors. And improve your game with Club WPT Gold's hand analysis tool. Sign up today at clubwptgold.com and start your online poker journey today.
Another
Yeah,
bust out
it's-
on the
it's
outer
'cause
table.
they have, like,
So as
no
expected,
chips
as
over
you
there.
predicted,
That's
Jamie,
it. All the chips were here.
bust
Now
out is
that
not going to
Jeremy
come
left.
at the
Yeah.
feature
Now Jeremy will
at
come
the
back.
table of short stacks. Obviously,
Good that you
no
no matter who they
chips
picked here,
not
it would have
so
been
short
someone that
anymore
was
if
chip
they're-
leading that
Yeah, they're
table over
absorbing
there.
each other, yeah.
Coleman with the hooks.
What a draw, right? We got all the chips. We have like, I think 120 million on this table over here.
Yeah. Let's say, yeah, we have like 60.
Oh, and
Yeah.
this
Had
is
before,
big trouble
yeah.
for Barshak. This could be a very early day, Jamie. If
Okay.
this rate of attrition
Yeah.
continues, we've only played for half an hour, and it looks like we're going to lose another player in most worlds. 13 players remain here. Barshak in
Tens are a
big
good
trouble.
hand, you know? This is not fair.
This is a little unfair. You're absolutely right. Barshak being patient, waiting for legit spots. All his shoves have been very nice so far, but
Yeah,
he's
he
just
kinda-
run into it this time. Coleman obviously going to call this one off. There's potentially going to be someone else involved, of course. Action on Gilbert here. Both Hakeem and Soheb lurking in the big blinds. Maybe one of them wakes up as well, and we see some real carnage.
This is not enough
Sorry.
blood for you?
I did a little stat check yesterday. The feature table was the table of death. Given the fact that there was 64 remaining when we came back and we played all the way down to 16, we actually saw a third of the bus deaths at the final at the
Wow.
feature table.
Yeah, that face. I feel ya.
And I think we're about to see another.
The other thing about feature tables is your very slow runouts are
Yeah.
so painful when you're staring down 8%.
Yeah, this is rough. And it's down to just one out now.
Board paired.
Spade doesn't have. You get a 10 of diamonds.
No, tennis.
No,
ten
does
spades
help.
works because he gets
Tennis
full
does
house.
Full house.
Yeah,
Oh, you're right.
I
Sorry,
was
squeeze
trying
in
to
there.
tell
Thank
you
you,
how
thank
the
you, thank you, thank
rankings
you.
work, but it's okay. We'll go
I
over
was
it.
in my phone looking
Fine,
at
man.
the payouts. 13th place, 174k. Do we get a ladder jump at 12?
I believe
You guys
so.
go up, get paid.
Yeah, nicely played, Barshak. You deserved better.
Easy game.
Did you get into the chess streets yourself, Jamie?
No, I played zero chess when I was a kid, but then, God, this is so normal of me. But yeah, I watched Queen's Gambit, and I'm like, I want to play. Very basic of me. But Jen Shahadi gave some lessons. I did a little bit of that, and I love it. I play their chess puzzles a lot. But I think I'm way too old to get good at it. You have to be like 5 years old.
I think so. Oh, and Coleman with number 1.
Nice.
Just limps. Trappy here at 80 big blinds depth.
Seriously. And Brown with the suited 10 deuce. He's going to check back.
Problematically now for Coleman, hasn't defined Brown's range much. Maybe can rule out the very worst stuff that might raise, and obviously the better stuff.
Queen 10 5, 2 spades. Brown with middle pair.
Oh, I'm hearing the Darth Vader now.
Mm-hmm. People watching at home were like, well, I didn't notice it till you said it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well,
Coleman leads out 400K. Brown with second pair, probably feeling pretty good.
yeah. Nowhere to go but call. Was about to be what I said, but actually Brown, some funky lines it must be said.
He found somewhere to go.
Yeah,
Besides call.
nowhere to go except there. 1.2 million, okay. Well, immediately uncomfortable for Coleman, who, as I said, did not define the ranges pre-flop. A lot in between the really bad and really good stuff. Obviously can't get away yet.
He's going to go through this hand very under-repped, making it really hard to make big folds. But he's in great shape with his aces, 89%.
I hope the pot's not 18 million. There we go, 3 million.
I was like, what happened?
um,
Would not be surprised if this gets checked back now.
yeah, Brown has bloated this pot to an uncomfortable level with his hand that has showdown.
For sure, and he still beats a lot of the
Wow,
things that
Jeremy's
Coleman
off.
would continue with. There's flush
look
draws,
at
straight draws.
this. Look at this, Jamie.
But man, is he overbetting the turn too?
Like it, didn't it?
Overbets the turn. This is
Looks like
sick.
He was grabbing his backpack. But yeah, and I knew it was. He wasn't even in the hand.
Wow, and Coleman takes the trappy line limping with aces
Greatest fall in history.
and is now in a world of
$58
confusion.
million down.
Very hard to figure out where he's at here. Could be up against some big draws.
With the ace of spades in his own hand.
Yeah, almost 40. actually,
Interesting.
actually.
Yeah, and that does make you feel like it could be more two-pair stuff than flush stuff. Although again, ace of spades, if it was in your opponent's hand, might have been sent northward pre. This one's really
I like the
funky.
way he plays.
And 9 of spades comes home, completing a lot of the draws we were thinking about.
It's a wild idea now, but could Coleman ever turn his hand into a bluff? No, quick check, check.
And Coleman's just going to win a really big pot with those limped aces.
It's worked out so well for him in the end, but I really am going to put a question mark over Brown's play there. That was a very unusual line.
Sure.